All right, well, welcome back to the Legacy Makers podcast. We have a spicy episode today, and we're talking about the roles of the home, the role of husband and wife, and the role of what else?
Yes, that.
Yes, the role of the husband and the wife. And the whole episode was really just centralized on this idea that God has a design for man and for woman, for husband and for wife. And if we really want to have a heavenly marriage, then we have to follow his design. And so the question is, what is his design? What is God's design? So we have some scriptures we want to read to you guys, and that's going to kind of guide our thoughts and our direction for understanding God's heart, God's design, his order for the household. So the first I'm going to read is Ephesians 5. You want to read it, Meg?
Sure. All right. It says, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. Wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, his body, of which he is the Savior. Now as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit to their husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, to make her holy, cleansing her by the washing with water through the word, and to present her to himself as a radiant church without stain or wrinkle or any other blemish, but holy and blameless. In the same way, husbands ought to love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. After all, no one ever hated their own body, but they fed and cared for their body, just as Christ does the church. For we are members of his body. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh, which is from Genesis. This is a profound mystery, but I am talking about Christ and the church. However, each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband.
Good.
Yeah. So, I mean, those verses right off. I mean, there's more. We have more to share.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
Those ones right off are a hot topic for people. I think there's a lot in there that is really actually affirming and great, but I think a lot of people can tense up when they hear some of those words.
Well, here's another verse for you. Genesis 2:18 says, "The Lord God said, it is not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him." Colossians 3:18 and 19 says, "Wives, submit yourselves to your husbands, as is fitting in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them." 1 Corinthians 11:3 says, "But I want you to realize that the head of every man is Christ, the head of every woman is man, and the head of Christ is God." 1 Peter 3:7 says, "Husbands, in the same way, be considerate as you live with your wives and treat them with respect as the weaker partner and as heirs with you of the gracious gift of life, so that nothing will hinder your prayers." It's obviously the
Bible's so clear.
There's an order.
Yes. Yeah.
There is. Now, what you'll see is it doesn't mean that one is better than the other.
I think what's clear is that the husband is the head.
Yeah.
The wife is the helper under the husband as she submits to him and he sacrificially loves her.
Yes.
This is a beautiful model that God designed.
It is. Yeah, the biblical roles of husband and wife aren't cultural constructs, but they're really established, ordered elements and institutions established in creation. There's a Hebrew phrase called ezer kenegdo. When God created Eve as a helpmeet from Genesis 2:18, the Hebrew phrase used is ezer kenegdo. The word ezer means help or rescue or strength, and it's the same word often used to describe God himself as our helper. Kenegdo means corresponding to, equal to, or suitable for.
So why do you think people have issues with this model? Or what are some of the problems people have?
I mean, I think the first thought goes, and this is what I was trying to say, is initially, you might hear that, and given our where our culture's at, it's it might sound like women are inferior
Because they submit.
Yeah, because they have to submit. Submit to someone else, submit to the man. Now, personally, my take of even history is that a lot of this has actually come up because men have abused their position of authority, of the head. And instead of where it says, husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for, over time, history, especially as the sexual revolution really took hold in the 60s, men didn't need to marry somebody in order to have access to a sexual partner. And the sexual revolution just accelerated this whole concept in that men have abused like their position, and then they've turned around and like walked away from this woman, their wife, who was told to submit and was told to respect. And so husbands abused it and men abused it. And so anyway, I'm just saying.
Well, I think that goes back way further than that, of men using their power to, dominate over women.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That goes back way farther.
I mean, it goes back
Sexual
all the way.
revolution.
Yeah. I'm just saying, as it relates to like modern history, like more recent history, there's definitely been like I feel like it's just been more of a prevalence. It's like, whereas back in those times, it was not.
Well, I feel like what you're noticing, there's two different problems there with male headship. I think the more current, like that issue of what came about from the sexual revolution is men shirking their responsibility as the head and pursuing their own desires and interests over being a good head and leader and sacrificially loving, versus being like a domineering and powerful and that kind of leader.
Yeah.
I think there's two issues there.
For sure.
But I would just say to that, I mean, I think just because there's a corruption of the doctrine doesn't mean the doctrine is bad. The humanity is fallen. And so.
Well, yeah.
That doesn't, like, because man has not done a good job at this doesn't mean that this model is not good. Doesn't mean that it's still not true and still not the best thing for our design.
Yes. I'm just wanting to bring understanding to the whole concept of like, hey, this is the journey that like has transpired. Like, this is the history. This is where we've gone. Like, let's just wake up to it, rather than just assume like what we're told and what we see from Hollywood is what's right. There is a history, and it's good to recognize that so that we can understand, like, where does this come from? If we don't know, then.
Well, I think the feminist movement is a big contributor to not liking this too.
I know. And I believe that the feminist movement started as a result of some of these issues that we're talking about. Passivity in men's self-seeking, self-interested. A friend of mine, I mean, I'm just going back to what I know and things that I've seen and witnessed, is like when a wife submits himself to her husband and then the husband turns his back on her, the wife is exposing herself. She's putting herself in a very vulnerable position of like, I'm going to have to take his last name and I'm going to essentially entrust my entire well-being to this person. And then he's going to go and turn around and do what he wants and leave her or leave the family and pursue someone else or do something bad. And that, in my mind, is like, that's where feminism has really started to take root, is like, okay, well, women are like, well, I don't need a man. If they're going to treat me like that, I don't need a man. I can do it myself. I can raise my own family. I can get my own job. I don't need what they have to offer, which is that's the cultural moment that we're in right now, ultimately. and it's all stemmed from this, I believe, again, which I don't know what your argument is, but I believe that's a lot where a lot of it comes from, more modernly. Yeah.
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 I think so.
Yeah. But that is one of the things. It's like submission means a woman is inferior or less than.
You think that's what people think, so then they don't want to follow the biblical
That's just like a
model.
natural thing. Another one, I mean, yeah. But like you're saying, like, yeah, it's not accurate.
Why not?
Well, you said it.
I know. Yeah. So, I mean, I just think, obviously, even the word helper, like if someone needs help, they're asking someone who can offer help.
Yeah.
So even just in the word, you're not like carrying a heavy box. You're like, oh, I need help. And the person coming along has a strength that you need.
Yeah.
So if you're the helper, you're actually offering a strength that they don't have.
Mm-hmm. So
that doesn't make you less than. And I think the big thing about this is just so much about the design of how God made us.
Yeah.
This model was from the very beginning of creation.
Mm-hmm.
That when he made man and woman, this isn't from Paul and from developing the church and the church model of how men and women should act in this culture of where's in Ephesus, right? It starts all the way when God created man and woman. That's when he proclaims that the woman is the helpmeet, the Ezer, that is someone to come alongside the man, and the woman was taken from the man. And he is the head. And I mean, it goes all the way to the role of the Trinity, right? And God the Father is, Jesus submits himself under God the Father. And so is Jesus less than God? Is he weaker and worse than God? I mean, no, they're this beautiful team that works together. And that's what we get to reflect in marriage. That's what we get to reflect in this headship and submission and love and respect. And all of that is a reflection of the Trinity and a reflection of the church. That's the image that is used in all these verses too, is how Jesus loves the church. And so we get to reflect not only the Trinity, but also the way that Jesus and the church function and relate to each other, which is beautiful. It's not something to despise. It's something to strive for. And I think a lot of times, like what you're talking about, of how the feminist movement impacted women's mentality of wanting to take over and do it themselves and not be hurt and try to just do everything yourself, and really diminishes the male perspective. I think whenever women try to step into that, and I think a lot of times in marriages we see women with these high expectations of what they want their husbands to be doing. And, your husband is not going to be doing it perfectly. And so a lot of times women can step in and try to take over and take control and try to lead themselves. And that's never going to bring about the satisfaction that you're wanting. And it's not going to make him happy. It's not going to make you happy. It's not going to make God happy, because you're not functioning in your design. You were never meant to be the leader. You were never meant to dominate over your husband. You're never meant to try to control.
Yeah.
You're meant to come under and serve and lead from service and respect and revering him.
It's good, Meg.
Yeah.
Another thing we hear is the Bible was written in a patriarchal culture, which would mean that these instructions are outdated or culturally irrelevant. Which, a good argument against that is that Paul wasn't grounding his instruction in the modern culture. He wasn't grounding his instruction in what the Romans were saying. He was grounding his instruction in creation, in the sequence of creation. And in the eternal, like you were saying, the eternal relationship, in the symbiotic relationship between Christ and the church, the Trinity.
Yeah, and like those differences of the roles were right away at creation. It was before the fall. It wasn't that the fall happened and then you have to submit to your husband.
Yeah.
That happened before.
Yeah. What other objections do we usually hear?
I think another thing is a lot of times couples want to have like this equality, you know, they think that it should just be an equal partnership, which sounds good in theory, that it should be this like 50-50 partnership where there's not like a designated leader, you're sharing everything, which I think that can sound ideal, but actually it can lead to a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I think then there's always this like you owe me, I did this, so you should do this for me. And I mean, in making decisions, how do you ever come to agreement if it's always 50-50?
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to defer.
Yeah.
And I also think so just like, I mean, coming back to what I was saying about how Jesus submitted to the Father, like there's a gift of being the one that is under a head, that they take, you know, your call as the husband is to die.
Yeah.
Your call is to love so much that you die. And just like Christ did for the church. And so that's what you have to do. And all I have to do is show you respect for doing that, you know? And I mean, it's not because you deserve it. It's because that's what God has told me to do.
Yeah.
The submission is not out of what you deserve.
Yeah.
Not because of how you have behaved or how you have acted, or because you're always going to make the best decisions for our family. Sometimes, I mean, of course you challenge and have conversations. It's not like I just blindly do whatever you say, but like ultimately you have to live with the responsibility of being the leader. And ultimately you have to live accountable to God with the decisions that you make.
Yeah.
And
A woman doesn't have to.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, thanks. That's a gift. And you have to protect us.
But I think there's still like back to the idea of like, it's not 50-50.
Yeah.
It's 100-100.
Yeah.
It's all in for each of us, for both of us, where everything's on the table, everything's on the court. It's our whole life. We give 100%, not 50%. We give 100%. And we will do anything and everything to support each other and support and to support our marriage. You know? So there's that too. What else? What other thoughts, things have you heard or seen or noticed
That people don't like? I think a lot of times when people think about submission, these are all about submission, I guess, because that's just my what I see and deal with. So maybe you could give some male perspective. Do men not like having women submit to them?
No, they love it.
Do men not like loving their wives though? I don't know. Okay, we'll come back to that.
That's a good one.
But
definitely.
I think women's, I know. I think sometimes women are hesitant about this topic of submission because they think they're gonna just be overrun, lose who they are. They won't have a voice. They will lose their identity. I think that can be a common hesitancy or a resistance to it. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that's true. In true submission, it doesn't mean you don't have a voice. You still have influence. It's how you're using that influence. And yeah, like you said, it's 100-100. We're all giving ourselves. So you're still fully there and fully yourself. It doesn't diminish you.
Yeah.
I don't know. What would you add?
Yeah. A lot of the issues that I hear is like, it's really a resignment. Men resign. The issues that like I haven't come across too many, but it's always in regards to like the relationship on the rocks. It's fragile, and the guy's complaining about what's going on, and obviously it's really one-sided. But yeah, it always comes back to resignment, and it's like unless like to your question, like, you know, do you like to love your wife? You know, it's like, and it's not a matter of like you don't get to just choose to like. I mean, you just have to. Like, loving is an action. Loving your wife is a choice. It's an action. It's a thing you do. And it's not necessarily a feeling. I would say the feeling comes from doing the action, and comes from pursuing, and comes from getting to know and seeing and noticing your spouse and remembering your spouse and thinking about her. Those feelings come when you pursue, when you act on love. But a lot of things that I hear, it's a lot of guys resign. They resign to it in a moment of maybe they've just gotten impatient, and they've trying to think of the examples. I feel like that's a big one. It's just like they're unwilling to wait for maybe whatever they perceive as whatever they're hoping for. Like, they're unwilling to wait and to continue to pray for that, and continue to
in their wife. You mean
in their wife? Yeah, if there's something. And so they resign and they give up. And so, you know, I mean, so I tell them, it's like, dude, you can't, like, you have to stay in it. Unless there's legitimate unfaithfulness where the Bible allows things to happen. But it's like, you are called to die and to love and to serve, and to give your life to her. And, but anyway.
So I think for women, a lot of times there's like a aversion to the call to submit and respect and revere their husband. So then, of course, it's having to choose, just like this, what you're saying.
Yeah.
But you're saying for men, it's not necessarily aversion to love. It's that they're choosing other things, or they want to do what they want to do instead of choosing to love and pursue their wife.
Or they're choosing there's things that they want to see that they value more than loving their spouse. Like, they want to see their wife do something. They want to see their wife act in a certain way, or talk a certain way, or stop doing something. And these are really, really dramatic examples that I'm thinking of.
No, it's very practical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just because all these examples ended in divorce that I'm thinking. And, but yeah.
I mean, that's true in even small things, right? Like, if she is going to keep talking to me like that, I'm not going to try to spend time with her talking tonight, you know?
Yeah.
So it's dependent upon behavior. And I think so much of our roles as husband and wife is truly about obeying God and doing what God has asked us to do, and not about what our spouse deserves, and not about how they have acted and how they have treated us. It is fully about living into our nature as male and female, and obeying the role that we have agreed to step into.
Yeah.
And I do think there is this cycle, though, where it takes, I mean, maybe you both agree together to like improve on these things, but it really just takes one spouse to start loving their wife better, or to start respecting their husband more, and submit to his leadership, and stop cutting him down, and stop, undercutting all of his decisions, or saying things that he should do better, or it's like, once you start doing that thing, you can win their affection back over. Who's gonna continually not love a wife who is serving them and encouraging them and building them up, even if you don't like his leadership or things that he's doing, or his attitude, or the way that, there's so many things we can find that are wrong, but there's got to be something you can find to encourage him and build him up, and some way you can serve him. Maybe he comes home from work and he's always wanted you to have a meal ready, try to do that sometime. Or like, maybe you find a way, to build him up. There's just, you can find little ways to do it, and eventually you win each other over. Yeah. And eventually it does become more mutual, but it doesn't mean it's going to start out mutual where you're both living into these roles perfectly.
Yeah. That's good, Meg. Yeah. What do you feel like are some things that the husband and the wife can do practically to live into their roles, live into these things, these places that God's designed them to live into?
I mean, I think there's so many things. So, I think the first thing that comes to mind though is really with our speech and what we say. I think for women, a lot of times it's refraining from saying things and, holding your tongue and not cutting down, being aware of your tone. I'm speaking from experience, guys. This is for me, what I've had to learn.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, your husband will feel a difference if you just don't say the things that you're wanting to say. And then once you stop that, then you can start thinking of other things that are positive to say. And then I think the same is true for men, though. Like, I think it can start with even in your speech. How are you speaking your love over your wife?
Yeah. Yeah. The speech thing goes both ways.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
Like how you verbally affirm your spouse, your wife, how you call out her beauty, how you, even how you, like, when you come home from work, how you show up and how you come to her and you hug her and you touch her and you wrap your arms around her and,
or even just smile at each other, you know, like, it can be easy in a frantic time as with young kids or anytime, you know, people work a lot and you're stressed and, you know, just look at each other and smile, you know, that one could really help.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny.
Actually, something that we started when I was kind of learning more about this and growing in this myself, I still am always growing, but there was a time when I'm like, you know, I need to show more just appreciation and respect for Ben. And the kids and I would randomly, when he walked into a room or came home from work, he works from home, so it would just be random. But
like maybe
I'd be
a
like,
trip or something.
Hey, kids, everyone, start clapping. Yeah, Dad's home. And Ben, it would always make you so happy.
Oh, yeah.
He loved it.
I do. Everyone does.
Yeah. It's great. It's so easy to do that.
Yeah.
Even if it's chaos, you can be like, oh, everyone stop. Just start clapping.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, man. What can the guys do?
I mean, you would be better at answering that, but I think even just like a text that's thoughtful throughout the day of something, I think even, noticing her beauty or, a text or a note or
I think the thoughtfulness
being helpful. I think being helpful with things, not grumbling when your wife asks you to help. That's a way to love her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Why women love that. You ask for help and they're like, oh yeah, I'll get to it. That doesn't feel loving when they finally do it. When you're like, sure, yeah. You know, I'm busy right now. Do it in a little. Or jump right on it.
So good.
That's a good way to show love.
Yeah, it is interesting though. I mean, Paul is so right when he says the words, wives, submit yourselves and show respect to your husband. Husbands, love your wives. There's like that. I mean, there's even a book, Love and Respect, right? Mm-hmm. It's like those two words like convey so much to the opposite person. Mm-hmm. Would you agree? Like, respecting me is really high on my list of like things that I really like. Mm-hmm. Loving you.
Yeah, there was there's another verse that I was reading today, and I can't remember what it is, but it was one of these. But it was actually talking about cherishing, like husbands cherishing their wife, and I feel like that communicates more to me. Being cherished feels treasured. Like, ooh, man, that precious. Is an honor to be cherished and thought to be something precious by you. I mean, love, I guess, communicates that, but
I don't think this is the right language for it. One of the verses that we read, this is a good one. 1 Peter 3:7, husbands, in the same way, be considerate as you live with your wives and treat them with respect as the weaker partner and as heirs with you of the gracious gift of life. I think there is something to be said about that, what you're saying. I guess in terms of this verse, that's just the language that I have for it right now in context, is like, if they are the weaker, if like the wife is the weaker vessel, then it's like my responsibility to cherish. And it's like the wife and the woman, in terms of creation, is the pinnacle of creation. The pinnacle of all beauty is the woman. And that was God's design by his intent. And so like we as men, we get the opportunity to cherish and to behold and honor this beauty that God's created, and to cherish and to protect it, to keep it beautiful, to keep it wonderful, and to gaze upon it.
I think you just painted this really beautiful picture of being weaker. I think a lot of women don't like the idea of being called the weaker vessel, the weaker person. But that's so beautiful. I mean, it's so beautiful to be someone that is treasured and cared for and protected because of how special you are. And I think also like Paul calls us here. He says what a gift it is to be weak and to be in need, because then we depend upon God. And so women being the weaker actually have this unique connection with that we have this closeness and ability to depend upon God in a way that men don't have, because they have this inner strength that God put in them. But that's part of our gift as a woman.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I feel like for me, when I start talking about that and thinking about you like that, it brings up this inner innate drive to like I really want to like show up for you and protect you and be there for you and make sure you're safe. Like when I leave on a trip and I'm away from the kids and Megan, I feel this like, man, like I hope they're okay. Like, are they going to be okay? Just in my innate nature. And so I think as men, like that's what we get to do. Like we get to protect our wife and be like cherish them and make sure they're safe and they're precious and they're okay, and provide for them.
Which like I'm naturally a person that's like, I got it. I can do this myself.
Yeah.
I can do anything. That's definitely my bent. And so I think learning how to accept that has been actually a gift. It's just it's to see weakness as something that is good instead of something that we fight against. Our culture tells us to be strong. And our culture tells us not to be weak. But actually it's such a beautiful thing. And so I think helping reframe that enables us to live into our femininity and live into our role as a wife.
And for men to live into theirs.
It calls men, like you said, Absolutely. It calls them into what their role is.
When I have the thought of like, I get to be there for her, I get to provide for her, and I get to see her flourish and thrive and light up with excitement. I live for that, and I think that's what all men really want, is to do that. Ultimately. And
it's so cool how whenever we really live into the design that God made, how both people are so satisfied. Right? When you do that. So God knew what he was doing.
He did. Well, here's some takeaways. Number one is, here's things you can do. 3 things. Number one is audit your alignment. Essentially, are you living as God designed you to live? Ask yourself that. Are you living in alignment with the role that God gave you? Think about that. Number 2 is do your role. Husbands, practice sacrificial love. Serve your wife. Cherish your wife. And wives, practice respect. So, any other notes?
No, it's good.
It's good. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We will see you on the next episode.